It is the Flow Friday Night Sports Show, and let's talk Eyre Peninsula netball now. Great Flinders and Eastern Eyre, to be more specific than that. And the Queen of EP netball joins me on the line again. Jo Franklin, how are you?
I'm doing really well, Jason. You?
Going well, thank you. We're getting to the exciting part of Great Flinders netball now, and tell you what, I think we've got our final four with one round to go, but there were some interesting results on the weekend.
Yes, there was. And, I think probably with the round that's coming up, it probably is set. Locke would have been hoping that they might have been able to do it, but a few things have to go their way. But as for last week, Ramblers were able to defeat Eyre United 55-22, so they were pretty happy with that win, because that certainly solidified third spot for them, but it actually also gives them the opportunity to end up finishing second, depending on what results they can come up with tomorrow. Keely Mason and Matilda Crittenden, they were pretty shaky to start off with. The Eyre United girls took it right up to Ramblers in the first few minutes, but then they were able to recover from that, and they settled down, and they certainly got their mojo happening down that end, and did really, really well. Kira Simons provided some really tight defence, which is good to see for Ramblers. And look, the Saints girls, they've battled hard. They've done that all year, but Ramblers in the end had some. They were still making a few basic errors. Their coach said there's still a bit to work on there. There's a little bit of poor decision-making happening, but they were able to work their way through it, and they came out with that win. And Brett Carmody did well for Saints. She received the incentive award, and Matilda Crittenden for the Maggies. So all in all, Ramblers pretty happy with that win.
As they should be, and it really does, as you say, locks away their final spot, first of all, but second of all, it does give them the chance at that double chance, which will be up for grabs this weekend.
Absolutely. And then the interesting one here, I thought, Jace, was Cougars and Tumby Bay. Cougars ended up getting up by 9 goals, 55-46, but I would have thought that they probably would have been hoping that they might have pushed it out by more than that. Tumby, they never say die. We know that. They've just got that attitude that nothing's ever too hard for them. And in the third quarter, they got within 2 goals, which really did put the scares up the Cougars girls, as Tumby have done several times before. But then this year, I think the experience that they've got through the centre court, they just took a deep breath, they steadied it up, and with some strong and they sort of started playing some really patient netball, and they were able to then take the win by 9 goals. Hannah Green got the incentive award there for Cougars, and I'm not sure who got it for Tumby, but certainly Stacey Curtis, she works so hard, and as she always does, and you just, if they get through into this finals race, you will not count them out.
They are dangerous, and they will likely get through. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, we will.
Locke, you touched on these guys. Now, they would have hoped probably for a slightly bigger win here. Percentage-wise, they still find themselves a little bit adrift, but they had a win anyway, 45-29. So that's the first part of the deal that they need to come up with to play finals. That's the first part locked away.
Yeah, it is the first part, and whilst they probably might have been hoping for a little bit more of a win, the Eagles actually got off to a really good start, and they actually showed a lot of improvement from the first round encounter that they had with Locke, and took Locke by surprise, actually, but Locke were able to settle, and one of the things that Tara was really happy with in the game was that their transitional play has started to develop, and they've been able to change defence into attack a lot more smoothly than what they were earlier in the season. Christy Zirk and Ellen Reid were really good in goals. Eliza Graham in goal defence got the incentive award for Locke, and she was good in defence with Sarah Skinner, as they have been since she's come back from her trip around the place. Elsie Madden shot really well for the Eagles and got their incentive award. Holly Fegan and the veteran Kate Hancock, they were also pretty good for Yolanda. But, like we said, Locke might just have kept their finals race alive. But when we see what's going to be happening this week, then I don't think so.
Well,
I don't reckon it's going to fall their way.
No, probably not. But one thing we have got out of this weekend's round of matches, and whether it's COVID that's done this to us or whatever it is, every match this weekend has something riding on it. And the team that's not going to play this weekend, that has the bye, will be watching on without much interest. Let's put it that way.
No.
Their season's over.
Yeah, the poor old Eagles. They have the bye this weekend. Their season is finished. But, it was a great experience for those young girls, and they will only be better for it. And most of them will be hanging around, so it is definitely something for them to build on, ready for next season. But where do we want to start?
Well, let's start with Tumby Bay. Actually, they take on the Saints, Ayr United, and look, Locke will be watching this game just as intently as they are playing their own, because they need they need some help from Ayr United. They need Ayr United to beat Tumby.
Yeah, they do, and considering that they haven't had a win, I don't know that that's actually going to happen. Look, Tumby absolutely will be out for the win. They know what they need to do, and they will want to run into the finals with winning form. There's no question about that. And, Alex Stratford and Sarah Laurie, they have the potential to shoot the lights out in this game and actually end up with quite a good percentage of win, I would think. As we've said, Ayr United, they'll give it a crack, but they're just not in the race this season. Again, young ones who will have learnt from this season, and if they can keep them together and just grab one, maybe two, hopefully experienced players to put in around them, then they'll definitely be better. But look, Stacey Curtis in defence, she will ensure that the winning form runs through, because winning form is good form, and I'm sure that she'll have, along with the coach, will have those girls primed up, ready for a big win this week. And unfortunately for Saints, I think it'll be the end of their season.
But I tell you what, the Saints would love nothing more than to end the season of their old foe. So that'll be on. It's their grand final. So who knows? They'll throw caution to the wind, but
they will.
Locke will be barracking for them. And at the same time, they have a tough order. They need to beat Ramblers and beat them by a little bit. They're about 2 percentage points adrift of Tumby Bay, which could, I guess, be made up if Ayr United beat them and then they beat Ramblers, but they'd have to not only win, but they've got to win by a margin. So it's tough for Locke.
Very, very tough for Locke. And I reckon they're actually playing Cougars at Kapini, Jason, because the Ramblers are playing Elliston, and we'll talk about that because that will be very interesting, that game. But yeah, Locke actually take Cougars on.
Oh, right,
they would have been doing the Rambler thing, but yeah, the program changed around.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so they are playing Cougars. So it makes it even harder for them because, like you said, Ayr United will go out and have a fair crack, but don't worry, the Cougars they want to run in with good form into the finals. So they will be making sure that they get everything right on Saturday. There's no question. And is out at Kapini. Look, both teams are going to be at full strength. Hannah Green and Ella Wedd are going to be up against Eliza Graham and Sarah Skinner, so that will be very interesting matchups. Ella's experience and her height will be matched by Sarah, and it has been the last time they played. But in the end, honestly, and we've talked about it all season, it's that centre court strength, the skill, the experience, the fact that they know when to take a deep breath and just settle the whole side down around them. I think they will be the telling factor in this game, plus during the finals. Sarah Hurrell and Millie Morton, they'll give a right real crack through the middle, but honestly, the same with Cougars in the defence. They've got young Molly Burns and Holly Gale have just been revelations. They're so young and they have just taken everything before them. They'll certainly be having Ellen Reid and Christy Zirk working really, really hard down there. So unfortunately for Locke, I think it's season over and Cougars will come away with the win. Yeah.
So the last match, apologies, will be Ramblers at Cummins taking on Elliston Districts, and this straight out is the playoff for second spot for the double chance. So the winner here, it doesn't matter the margin, the winner here will finish second on the ladder. It is as simple as that.
It is as simple as that, and neither coach is taking it as simple as that. They both have the nerves running, I can tell you. Look, both teams are going to be at full strength, and they want to take that upper hand into the finals because we do know momentum does help when you're running into finals, Jace. Although sometimes it doesn't, does it? However, anyway, look, Ramblers won this game by 5 the last time they met, but Elliston District didn't have Courtney Hull. She hadn't come back then, and I really think she is going to make a big difference, and she will have an impact on this game as she has in the last couple that she's played. Look, if Ramblers let her get some space and find her range in the ring, they are really going to be up against it. But, Kira Simons and Abby Lee Burrows, they know what they have to do, and they will be working overtime in defence to make sure that they give limited access to Courtney or to she could be in there with Tash Paul or Kate Lowby. So height abundance in that circle, I can tell you. And then you look at the other end with Nikki Schubert. She has just had an outstanding season this year for Elliston Districts. Her and Kelsey Hull have worked really well back there together. And so Keely and Matilda Creddy are certainly going to have their time cut out down there as well. I think that Elliston, now that they're back to full strength, just in that centre court, the young Ramblers girls under pressure still just make a few errors at the wrong time. Hopefully they'll be able to get over that and take it right up to Elliston Districts. But, I think the centre court is just where Elliston Districts are just going to get the win.
Okay. Well, we'll wait
Don't
and
tell
see.
Keely I said we won't let Keely know that I've tipped against her.
Fair enough. Finals comes a week early for those sides, so
it does.
it should be a cracking game. Let's move now to...
Can I just do one other thing?
Yep.
Sorry, Jay. Sorry to butt you. But can I just do one other thing? Because I think this is a really important thing. My beautiful daughter-in-law, Bianca Franklin, actually does a record-breaking effort tomorrow. She plays for Cummins Kapini, the Cougars, and she will play her 246th game, which is a senior game, which is a record breaker for since they've become Cummins Cougars. She will take over and hold having played the most games for that amalgamated club. So we wish her all the very, very best. She's played well over that, if you count from juniors, but to have played that many senior games within an amalgamated club is just massive. And we wish her all the very, very best for tomorrow.
Here. Well done. Now that's a great milestone. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Off to Eastern Eyre Netball now. Last minor round of matches last weekend, and we had the minor premiers confirmed. We also had, the ladder finalised. It basically already was anyway. First of all, Central Eyre United. Let's look at their game against Ports. They did more than enough. They beat them very, very comfortably, 54-18.
Yeah, they did, and it was very, very unfortunate for Ports that they had to go out on that sort of a note for 2021. But look, Central Eyre United, they'll be very pleased with the scoreline. That means they obviously finished third, and they're ready. They're ready for the semi-final tomorrow. There's no question about that. Keely Bruce was good in defence, and Abby was doing her. Abby Bruce was doing her job at the other end in goal. So. They've got two very tall bookends there, and to have them running into form heading into finals, they've done really, really well. So,
they will be dangerous come finals time, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a moment.
Absolutely.
The other clash, Eastern Rangers and Kimber, traditional rivals, and this was a straight playoff for the minor premiership. It went the way we thought it would. Kimber Districts were just too good in the end. Eastern Rangers went down 48-40. So Kimber going to the finals on top.
Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. And so very interesting there because they sort of had been one game each up until then. So now Kimber will take the advantage into the finals. Look, this will be part of the issue, I think, coming into finals, that Kimber are going to take that momentum in, and Eastern Rangers are actually used to being the ones that take that in over the last couple of years. So, it really was important, I think, for Kimber to win that game, give themselves the confidence that they can do it, and that they've sort of run into some form. Jess Clement's very, very good in goals. Yet again, Geordie McCullum and Saran Shippard, that is such a strong centre court, and they were good. They were very strong on Saturday. Rangers still got a bit of work to do. They are putting together, and they're not making the excuses of losing two of their top players, but it's a big hole to lose a defender and a goalie at A-grade level in a small country club. So, they've certainly got a couple of weeks to work on it, and they will come out all guns firing, I have no doubt, in the semi-final. But yeah, Kimber just too good on Saturday.
And that leads us to finals this weekend. We're into the elimination final or the first semi-final, depending on which vernacular you want to use for this. But it is, in the A grade at least, Central Eyre United taking on the girls from Cal, who have improved as the season's gone on. But I just get a feeling Central Eyre United are just starting to come together at the right time of year.
Yeah, I think they are. I'll just quickly run through, Jake,
Sure.
because Ports have actually been able to have a few sides make finals, which is really good for them in the juniors because at least it means there's a little bit of future there. So 9:30 there is the F grade. Ports are playing Eastern Rangers at 10:45. It's the E2 where Ports again will play Eastern Rangers. At 11 o'clock it's the D grade where Kimber will play Ports. So all three of their junior side, Ports junior sides, got through to the finals, which is a big credit to them. 12:15 is the C2, Cal play Kimber. At 12:30 is the B grade, Central Eyre United will play Cal. At 1:45, two grades play C, Kimber and Cow, and the C3 was the new grade that they made up with Central Eyre coming in and a few extra players around. So that's Ports and Central Eyre United. But then at 3 o'clock is the A grade. Central Eyre United play Cow. And look, it'll be a really good game. It really will. Cow are actually, I think for the first time, got a full-strength side coming up. They've got Ashley Francis and Emily Wycamp in goals, and they've been building over the last few weeks. They'll match up against Keely Bruce and maybe Kylie Scholes, which is a lot of height and a lot of strength in that end. So the two Cow goals are a little bit on the shorter side, but have got a fair bit of speed. So that will be a really interesting contest in there. The Jeffrey twins, Caitlin and Shannon, will run mid-court along with Ellie Burton, who has had a cracker of a season this year, and she's had her last two games have been massive through the centre court. And Central Eyre United have a few options in here. Thinking maybe Mel Skinner and Regan O'Brien might be coming up in there. Unfortunately, I have not been able to get in touch with Beth for her final because they don't train till tonight, their final lineup. But that could be really interesting. Lila Tonkin and Mickey Sivia in defence for Cow. They will really need to step up tomorrow because they will have to shut down the Central Eyre United goalers in Abby Bruce and Jess Sampson, or they may even run the young Rani Tomney, who has really found a little bit of form as well. So fair bit of height in there, bit of speed. So Lila and Mick will certainly want to step up there. But look, I would think that Central Eyre United are going in fairly full of confidence after the way they played last week. And Cal had the bye, so they're sort of coming off of that, and don't know that that's always a really good thing heading into finals. But look, I would love to think that the Cowgirls could come away with a win here. Look, it's been 1993, I think, when I coached the last premiership for the Cow A grade. So they're due, but yeah, look, I just don't know that it's going to happen for them this year. And Central Eyre United, look, they've come in to the Eastern Air competition and have certainly brought a breath of fresh air into it. And it'll be very interesting to see just what does happen. And I'm sure there'll be a pretty big crowd turn up anyway. So to watch the game. So yeah, good luck to everybody.
All up in Kimber. Good luck to everyone hitting the courts this weekend in Eastern Air finals. And Joe, look forward to catching up with you again next week to go through the winners and what's to come in EP netball. Enjoy the netball this weekend, mate.
We certainly will, and I think Eastern Air would just like to mention that they've got their medal count coming up next Sunday at Woodner at the Showgrounds shed there, so people need to get themselves organised. It starts at 11:30, and I reckon my money's on Geordie McCullum.
Oh, yes, okay. Yep, well, we'll talk more about that next week too, and perhaps go through each club and have a look at who the chances are. But for now, we'll leave it there. Good on you, Joe.
No worries. Thanks, Jace. We will catch up with you soon.